Since the start of my relationship, my routine hasn't really changed. She wakes up and her skin is perfect every day. She doesn't even have to wash her face. I have to do all this stuff only to look like this. It's very hard.
There's goods and bads of being in the industry at a young age. Though my life was that way, I just chose to accept it and try to do my best with my work. It has been a bit of a challenge to transition. Sometimes people want me to stay in a place that I'm just not anymore. And I'm happy and I'm just doing the things that I love now.
I didn't have social media for 2 years. Everything changed. It's that you usually sometimes feel like you have FOMO. Everyone's life looks amazing. It just destroyed me. So I stopped. When I was out of social media, I was so much happier with just me, myself.
എനിക്ക് 16 വയസ്സുള്ളപ്പോൾ കണ്ടുമുട്ടിയത് ഒരുമിച്ച് ജോലി ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. ഞങ്ങൾ പരസ്പരം കണ്ടുമുട്ടിയത്. അത് നല്ലതായിരുന്നു. എനിക്ക് ഉറ്റ ചങ്ങാതിമാരെ പോലെ ആയിരുന്നില്ല. അവൻ തമാശക്കാരനാണെന്ന് ഞാൻ കരുതി. ഞാൻ തമാശക്കാരനായിരുന്നു. ഈ വ്യക്തി വളരെ തമാശക്കാരനാണ്. പക്ഷേ എനിക്ക് അതിൽ ഒന്നും തോന്നിയില്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ ഉടൻ തന്നെ അവിവാഹിതരായി വീണ്ടും ഒന്നിച്ചു. അത് ക്യൂട്ടാണെന്ന് അറിയാവുന്ന ആരെങ്കിലും എനിക്ക് വിളിക്കാൻ ഞാൻ അവനോട് ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടു. അവൻ പറഞ്ഞു, "ഓ, ഈ അത്താഴ രാത്രികൾ ഞങ്ങൾ കഴിക്കാറുണ്ട്. നീ വരണം." ഡബിൾ കോട്ട്. പിന്നെ അടുത്ത കാര്യം, ഞങ്ങൾ ഡേറ്റിംഗ് നടത്തുകയാണ്. അവൻ തുടക്കത്തിൽ തന്നെ ഭയന്നിരുന്നു. കാരണം അവൻ പറയും, ഇത് ജോലിയാണ്. ആളുകൾ ദേഷ്യപ്പെടാൻ പോകുന്നു. ഡബിൾ കോട്ട്. എനിക്കൊരു കുഴപ്പവുമില്ല.
Do you still speak Spanish?
Not fluently, because I got my first job at 7 and I immediately, was, saying everything in English. So, but to reconnect to that has always been really important to me. I released a whole album in Spanish. And, having the opportunity to do this was really special for me. So I love getting in touch with that side.
Was it difficult?
No, it was really
Not to act and
No, it was really comfortable. Yeah, it felt really comfortable for me. I have a date after this.
Her new year, new man.
Let's hope.
Dating is exhausting.
It's so exhausting, but I've been single for 5 years, so I think I'm ready. I would say I am very, very grateful for my family, and then it would be probably this show. And I'm grateful for, being in a really healthy, wonderful relationship. So I have a lot. And my sister.
I think Benny might question the order. It starts with I have the greatest person who does hats. Right. Then I guess and Ben. And then
My list is the same, but put not in front of everything.
Selena Gomez didn't just ring in the new year. She quietly sent a message that fans are still trying to decode. One kiss at midnight, a small circle, no red carpets, no chaos. And suddenly, everyone is asking the same question. What does this mean for her future? Because when you really look at how Selena entered 2026, it feels less like a celebration and more like a reset. That countdown kiss with Benny Blanco wasn't loud, but it was deliberate. And in Selena's world, quiet moments usually speak the loudest. Here's the thing. This wasn't just about romance. It was about control, about boundaries, and about a version of Selena we haven't fully seen before. Stick around, because once you connect all the dots, this New Year's moment starts to look like the beginning of a much bigger shift. Because when you zoom out, that peaceful clip tells a completely different story. For years, Selena's New Year's moments were tied to eras, albums, press cycles, appearances, expectations. This one felt stripped down. No spectacle, no performance energy, just presence. And fans noticed immediately. The absence of noise was the loudest detail of all. She wasn't surrounded by dozens of industry faces or caught in a blur of flashing lights. Instead, she chose familiarity, comfort, people who didn't need anything from her, and that choice alone hinted that something had changed. Selena didn't look like she was chasing momentum. She looked like she was protecting it, and the contrast couldn't be sharper. Past versions of Selena felt like they were constantly balancing health, fame, relationships, public pressure. This time she looked steady, grounded, almost untouchable. And when fans saw Benny there at midnight, it only deepened the curiosity. Because Benny Blanco's presence wasn't just about being a boyfriend, It was about timing. Selena has had very public relationships before, and each one came with its own kind of noise. Headlines, commentary, speculation. This feels different. Benny doesn't bring spectacle. He brings calm, and fans can sense that shift immediately. What stands out isn't how much she shows him. It's how little she feels the need to explain. There's no overcompensation, no constant proving. She isn't selling the relationship, she's simply living in it. And that kind of ease usually only shows up when someone feels safe. People close to Selena have hinted for years that stability matters more to her now than validation. And Benny seems to fit into that chapter naturally, not as a headline, but as a constant. Someone who supports the pace she wants instead of accelerating it. But if you really want to understand what Selena is planning next, you have to look past the kiss and straight at her social media. Because lately, her posts have been saying a lot, without actually saying much at all. Fans were quick to notice the shift. Selena has been posting more frequently, but not impulsively. There's intention behind it. Subtle captions, forward-looking language, emotional transparency without oversharing. And historically, this is the exact pattern she follows right before major changes. She's hinted at surprises, at reconnecting, at doing things differently this time. And while that excites fans, it also scares them. Because alongside the excitement, there's been a whisper no one wants to hear. The idea that Selena might be preparing to step back, not disappear, not vanish, but redefine what being present actually means. This isn't the first time retirement talk has surfaced around her, but this time, it feels different. Less emotional, more strategic. Almost like she's positioning herself for longevity instead of burnout. Selena has been honest about how demanding the spotlight can be, physically and mentally. She's never glamorized the grind, and instead of chasing constant output, she seems focused on sustainability, on choosing projects that excite her instead of drain her. So when fans panic at the word retirement, they might be missing the bigger picture, because stepping back doesn't always mean stepping away. Sometimes it means stepping smarter. And that brings us straight to the question that keeps resurfacing. Touring. Selena has admitted she misses the connection of live performances, that raw, unfiltered exchange between artist and audience. But she's also been transparent about the toll it takes. Touring isn't just singing for 2 hours, it's months of travel, rehearsals, pressure, no real rest. And for someone managing long-term health challenges, that kind of schedule isn't something you casually sign up for. That's why a traditional world tour feels unlikely. Not impossible, just improbable. But fans haven't stopped speculating about a different option, one that keeps popping up for a reason. Vegas. A residency would change everything. No constant travel, no back-to-back cities, one controlled environment, one routine, and the ability to give fans a live experience without sacrificing her well-being. It's not a downgrade, it's a power move. Vegas residencies have become a haven for artists who want longevity without chaos. It allows for storytelling, for intimacy, for crafting a show that evolves instead of exhausting. And for Selena, it would offer the perfect middle ground between disappearing and overextending. She could revisit her biggest hits, introduce new music on her own terms, control the narrative, control the pace, and most importantly, protect her health. But live performance is just one piece of the puzzle, because Selena's career right now isn't narrowing, it's stacking. Only Murders in the Building continues to be a massive success, reminding everyone that Selena isn't just a pop star, she's a serious actress. The rumored biopic projects point toward legacy building, not trend chasing. And whispers about Wizards-related projects tap directly into nostalgia, a powerful currency in today's entertainment landscape. Then there's the music. She hasn't dropped a full album in a while, and that silence doesn't feel accidental. It feels deliberate. In an industry that rewards constant output, choosing when not to speak can be just as powerful as dropping a hit. When Selena finally releases again, it won't be rushed to satisfy an algorithm or meet an artificial deadline. It'll be thoughtful, personal, and rooted in where she actually is, not where fans or labels expect her to be. This next chapter of music won't be about recreating old eras or chasing past success. It'll be about reflecting a new phase, one shaped by clarity instead of chaos. All signs point to a year built around intention. Fewer releases, fewer appearances, but stronger impact. Selena isn't disappearing, she's refining. And in a culture obsessed with doing more, choosing to do better is a quiet rebellion. But beyond career moves and creative strategy, there's a deeply personal future Selena has spoken about. One fan's approach with care because it carries real emotional weight. Motherhood. Selena has never treated this topic lightly. She's been open about wanting children, and the reality that, because of her health conditions, carrying a pregnancy herself isn't an option. Instead of framing that truth with bitterness or regret, she's spoken about it with honesty and grace, emphasizing that family doesn't have a single definition. Adoption, surrogacy, fostering. Love finds its way in many forms, and it's clear this dream hasn't disappeared. It's simply waiting for the right moment. Looking at where she is now, 2026 doesn't seem aligned with that chapter yet. She's laying groundwork, reclaiming creative control after years of pressure, building stability in both her career and personal life. These aren't things you rush through or abandon halfway. They're foundations. And once they're solid, everything else becomes possible. That's the key difference. Selena isn't postponing life. She's aligning it. When you circle back to that New Year's moment, everything suddenly makes sense. She didn't look like someone chasing validation or performing happiness for the camera. She looked present, calm, grounded. And that kind of peace doesn't come from applause or headlines. It comes from knowing who you are, what matters to you, and who actually deserves access to your energy. And that might be the most powerful shift of all. As we get older, priorities change. Quantity gives way to quality. Loud rooms lose their appeal. Crowded circles shrink into smaller, more meaningful spaces. Selena's New Year's celebration reflected that perfectly. No packed party, no industry spectacle, just people who genuinely care about her well-being and don't need anything from her in return. She's setting boundaries, protecting her peace, choosing fulfillment over frenzy, and in an industry built on constant visibility and endless demands, that choice isn't just rare, it's radical. It's not a retreat, it's evolution. And that's the real takeaway. Success isn't just about charts, tours, or headlines. It's about building a life that actually feels good to wake up to. One where peace isn't postponed, and happiness isn't something you have to perform for the world. Selena Gomez is stepping into this year surrounded by the right people, choosing projects that excite her, and finally moving from balance instead of burnout. And if that quiet New Year's moment tells us anything, it's that she's just getting started, completely on her own terms. So keep your eyes open, because the next chapter probably won't be loud, but it will be unforgettable. And if you want to stay ahead of every move, every shift, and every story the headlines miss, make sure you're subscribed. We break these moments down in real time. No fluff, no hype, just the stories that actually matter. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.